Yeah, so I woke up this morning, and I don't know. I had an epiphany in the middle of the night. I had this dream. I had this vision. So I'm thinking of asking you to invest in this with me. Well, it's a Ferris wheel development company. I'm thinking of going into the Ferris wheel business. Yeah, think about that. I'll get back to you. Yeah. Hi, just what we need. One more ride. Welcome to Season 7, Episode 14 of Niagara 411 Live with Sterry. We are brought to you by Grantham Home Hardware, supported by Verge Insurance, as well as Ready Bins Niagara, produced by WeeStreem, Canada's premier streaming service. On this beautiful, warm, sunny day in downtown St. Catharines, we are at Fiddler's Poorhouse, 149 St. Paul Street. And these are your specials today. If you want to come in and have a pint or a shot or some food and join us for lunch, whatever you feel. Why, goodness, what a beautiful day. We are going to just slide our way into Fiddler's Poorhouse right now. Frankly, I'd like to be still standing outside, but it's nice in here too. There's air conditioning, and wouldn't the people in Europe right now pay a couple of bucks to be able to be sitting in this lovely, cool environment? Wow, stuff they're going through over there, crazy. We've had some hot days too. Coming up on the program today, a local sports broadcaster that has been around for quite some time, and I'm looking forward to talking to this guy because we work together sort of for like a snapshot in time, and Rod Mawhood's going to be joining us in a bit. And he is the host and creator of the Niagara Sports Report, and he just won a pretty prestigious award. So we just wanted to give a tip of the beau chapeau to Rod. We're going to be talking to him in a little bit. The Niagara Ukrainian Festival is coming up, and we're going to be chatting about that as well, and a bunch of other things that are relevant to you here in Niagara. So if you bear with us for about 30 seconds, we'll get it underway. Come on in. Hey, and again, here we are, Season 7, Episode 14 of Niagara 411 Live with Sterry. Boy, and finally we've got some good weather. What a weird and wacky spring and early summer our weather forecasts have brought us. And now we've got this El Nino thing that they're saying could be the biggest El Nino ever. Of course, who knows what's going to happen there, but here we are. Today is a dandy. So if you're going to spend a few minutes with us today, that's awesome. We appreciate your time on an otherwise pretty summery day. And you can bet on this summery day that there are going to be quite a number of people on Niagara beaches. And we're in kind of a funny place. When it comes to a funny place, I mean funny place in time, not a funny place location. When it comes to beaches in Niagara, this whole paying for parking at beaches came to light during COVID, because when things started to loosen up a little bit here and tighten up in the GTA, our beaches like Sunset Beach, Lakeside Park in Port Dalhousie were just inundated with people from all over southern Ontario, and to such a degree that the city fathers in their ultimate, and mothers in their ultimate wisdom, started paid parking in Port Dalhousie in particular. Well, what you're looking at right now is a few years later, there are parking machines there, and I don't mean to make light of it, because vandalism isn't ever funny, except for the fact that I believe that the local residents, or at least obviously some of them, have had a little bit too much to say, this is stupid, and they the parking machines took a beating in Port over the last a few days. And I, for one, am not in favor of vandalism. Don't get me wrong. I don't believe in vigilantism, taking the law into your own hands. I believe in due process and following the rules. And as boring as that sounds, I do believe that there is a process to be followed when it comes to fighting City Hall. However, that disclaimer now out of the way, I am one of the people that believe that the city of St. Catharines and other cities as well, but this is the auspices of the city of St. Catharines, made a huge mistake in continuing paid parking at places like Lakeside Park after the whole COVID pandemic was over. It was a knee-jerk reaction. It was over-the-top ridiculous, except for the fact, if you want to qualify it by them wanting to have a profit center. But they're not going to tell you it was for the money. They're going to tell you that it was for the safety of the public and the security of the beaches. Bull. Because we never had the problem prior to COVID. We didn't have a parking problem. There was a parking problem maybe if you came down there and you couldn't find a parking place. Well, that's your problem. That's not the city's problem. That's not society's problem. It's not the Toronto people's problem. It's the fact that if you come down and you can't find a parking place, that's your problem. You came at the wrong time, where you just have to wait until you can find a parking place. Don't make even the locals pay money for something they've never had to pay money for in the past, just because we had a little pandemic going on.
Now, Lee, what if I told you that?
Hi, Kevin.
What if I told you that this actually loses money? That it costs more.
You would not surprise me in the least.
Now, I haven't seen the latest numbers, but I'm going back a couple of years when this whole thing began, and this loses money for the city of St. Catharines.
It is ridiculous.
It costs them more to enforce it and to administer it, especially with the wrinkle of offering, summer-long passes to local residents and things like that. It costs more to enforce it and to administer it than they actually get in enhanced revenues from charging parking. I would go down in saying that this actually loses money, but again, I haven't seen the 2025 numbers, but I believe it is a money loser.
But I wouldn't dispute that, Kevin. I'm not going to argue with you because I think you may very well be right in that. But the whole thing boils down to the fact that who's the brain trust that I guess it was the council at the time that made this decision that, we have to control crowds. Well, wait a minute. If you've got a full parking lot, whether it's free or whether it's paid for, you still have the same crowd, don't you? I mean, and I understand the people that live along Arthur Street heading down to Sunset. I understand that
that's a problem.
For sure. When that beach was overrun with people and there were cars being parked on private property and all that stuff, because there's a lot of residences along there, and I can see those folks really being up in arms. But that might not necessarily be legislated properly through parking charges. It might just very well be legislated by having a couple of security guards and have parking control officers on site, which would be, to go to your point, Kevin, intrinsically less expensive than putting up these high-tech machines. Because people, if they can't find a high-tech parking spot, are they not going to break the law and park on somebody's lawn anyway? What are we gaining by this?
Yeah, it's a bit of an issue. Now, I've been up to Sunset Park, and or Sunset Beach, they did a beautiful job.
Oh, a really nice reno.
Yeah, the reno is beautiful. Kudos to them.
Yep.
It looks like a nice, modern, world-class facility when you go there now. But I do think that parking is going to be an ongoing issue there, and that's just the beach holds 4,000 people.
Yeah.
There's parking for 400. Those aren't exact numbers, but see what I'm getting at.
Of course, and yes, I feel for the residents. But then again, I don't think you can legislate the problem away by adding parking fees. It's about enforcement, and that's all it really is have. Pay a couple of patrollers, not necessarily regional policemen. You need
bylaw officers.
But yeah,
you need bylaw officers.
Just have them patrol the damn area and control the parking. That's all it really takes. Anyway, But speaking of beaches, you run into some all kinds of people. That wasn't very good English there, was it? You run into some all kinds of people on the beach. And if you've ever been to a beach, which I'm sure you have, you know you meet some characters. Well, this was one that you just might want to keep your heads up about some of the folks that are around. A bit of a long read here, but a serious situation was posted on Niagara 411. Today was a reminder of why I don't like or I don't take eyes off my kids. We were at sunset today with a group of friends. One of the people I was with had a little tripod with her phone attached to it because she was live streaming. Around 5 p.m., who knows why, but anyway, around 5 p.m., we were under the tent hanging out when a random guy who was alone came over and started asking her questions about what she was doing. Is she live streaming? She made money off it. She quickly realized that something was a little bit off with him, especially since he kept looking her up and down and staring at her chest. My eyes are up here. Eventually he walks off maybe 100 feet from us and set up a chair by one of the logs on the beach. We noticed that he's continuing to look over at our group and watched our kids play. Okay, kind of creepy, noted, but this is the part that had me get out of my chair. And the mama bear in me came out. Two young boys, maybe 9 or 10, walking past him, and he stopped them and started talking to him, and she interceded. Waited a few moments to see if they'd keep walking. She realized they were engaging with him, darted over and said, "Hey boys, your mom's looking for you." Naturally, they looked perplexed, and I'm also a stranger. But they came over to me and said, "Hey, why don't you find the adults or group you came with? Because that guy right there is a weirdo." They agreed. I made sure they weren't followed. Now, perhaps one could argue that this man was harmless. I don't know him at all, but there's no reason a grown man alone at the beach should be stopping young kids to talk to them, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't disagree. So it's always good. Kudos to you, ma'am, for kind of taking the bit between your teeth and taking the initiative to look out for your fellow humans. It's probably a good thing. And again, who knows what motivation this gentleman had? And I use the term gentleman loosely, of course, but who knows that he isn't he might very well be a gentleman. But you know, different strokes for different folks, and you have to kind of keep your eyes peeled and look out for your fellow human, as I mentioned. And it's a great thing that our mama bear did that. And
now, what would you do, Lee? What would you do? I think I'd do with the same that this mom did. I've seen what I would consider to be an overreaction where cops are called in scenarios like this.
Oh.
I'm like, well, sitting on the beach and being strangely friendly is not a crime.
No, I would. I mean, there are different scenarios that this could have been a part of. This man might have been just a very, very lonely guy that liked interacting or likes interacting with other people. Just because you kind of want to interact with a couple of kids and say hi and how you doing, etc., it doesn't make you a predator. That being said, there are, and I find this most often, and this is a compliment, not a criticism. Women seem to have a sixth sense or an extra sensory perception of people's personality. Maybe it's because growing up as a female, you've got to be a little bit extra watchful of your surroundings. I don't know what it is, but it's been my experience that sometimes women's senses of what's happening or their perspectives or the vibes they're getting from other people seem to be more sensitive than men, I guess is what I'm saying. I don't know why, and I could be entirely wrong. There's no science to back me up, but it just seems that women are a little bit more sensitive to this stuff. And maybe it is the mama bear syndrome. Maybe it is that mothering or maternal instinct that women, or a lot of women, majority of women are born with. I know this is sounding really misogynistic, but it's in a good way. So I don't know what it is. What would I have done? I think probably, Kevin, to be honest, I probably would have let it play out a little longer. Just to, I wouldn't have ignored it, but I think I might have let it play out a little longer to actually, in an interesting way, find out what was going on. That might have been how I handled it. But if those two young lads had decided to maybe walk off with this guy somewhere, then I think I would have engaged.
Well, you know what? I thought this was an appropriate response.
I think it was.
Didn't call the police, but alerted the public.
Yeah.
Obviously sent a note to Nick at Niagara 411 saying, hey.
Yeah.
And Nick, in his story, sorry, I'll throw it back up, kind of said, yeah, you know what? This is not the first time, and went a little further. Dark-colored male driving a dark Chrysler 300 with blacked-out windows. But again, nobody alleging that a crime has been committed.
Right.
But there is that sixth sense. We're all aware of it, and I think we all have to pay more attention to it from time to time.
No, I think so too.
Lee, let's do our shares. Let's do our sponsors, and then we'll get to Rod, award-winning sports journalist.
Yeah. So let's do it. So you're watching us on Niagara 411. Hey, Nick's mom, by the way. And thank you for watching our live stream. So, refresh, just hit that little squiggly arrow beside the window, and you'll see us on the air there. So then you go down and you do a share. You hit the little arrow to share, and then it'll tell you to either make a comment, say something about this, or share now. We'll just click on the share now, and bada bing, bada boom. As if by magic, this wonderful program that we're involved in right now is being shared geometrically with all of your friends and your friends' friends and their friends of their friends and friends. And we appreciate that, because that's what we do. We try to keep Niagarans in touch with Niagarans. And the people that help us do that are our much valued and loved sponsors. Grantham Home Hardware in the Grantham Plaza there at Vine and Niagara Street, and Scott, and right there. Grantham Home Hardware. Jake and Rob, thank you guys very, very much for being a part of this program. And there's all kinds of things going on for the summertime at Grantham Home Hardware. They got your barbecues, and they got your lawn furniture, and they got your Adirondack chairs, and they got your plants and your foliage and your fauna and all that stuff. And great people that will help you find whatever you need that you are looking for.
I find that's key. Lee, isn't it nice to walk into a store and approach somebody that's actually going to help you?
Oh, I know.
And that's what they do there. A lot of times I remind myself, just go there first.
It's all, yeah.
Just go there first, ask them your question.
That's
and
what I do.
They'll get you to the answer. Otherwise, I'm wandering around aimlessly in the big box.
It is. Now, I'm old enough to remember what you want to call the old-fashioned hardware store. Well, this kind of gives you that feel. They got all the new technology, the new stuff and everything else, but it gives you that sort of comfortable community, old world feel from when you're, like when I was a kid going into a hardware store with my dad or whatever, and that's how it feels. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian, Grantham Home Hardware, thank you so much for still being a part of this. Ready Bins, or Verge Insurance as well. I'll get to Ready Bids in a second, but I'm trying to follow the bouncing ball. See along the top there. Verge Insurance, for your home, for your health, for your car, for your life. Insurance brokers here in Niagara since 1953. So they've been doing it a while. They must have something right. And the main office here on Ontario Street in St. Catharines, with also an office in Niagara Falls. Thank you, Verge Insurance. Mark Shirk and the gang, thank you very, very, very much for being a part of the program. And Ready Bins, our newest sponsor on the program. Ready Bins, bin, dumpster rentals, and junk removal. Niagara's easiest bin and dumpster rentals, all-inclusive pricing, fast delivery, 4-season all-weather service. You can get $50 off your very first rental as a new customer to this new company. And you can go to readybinsniagara.ca. That's R-E-D-E, Ready, R-E-D-E, Bins, Niagara, all one word, .ca. The right size bin for any project and they can put these things just about anywhere you have space, or even a small car. They can plop something in there. So thank you, Dave McParian, and the group at Ready Bins as well. And of course, we'll chat with Kevin about WeeStream a little later in the program. Rod Mawhood is a local sports broadcaster, has been for many years. Has done play-by-play and color for so many Niagara sports teams, including just recently, as part of this story, the Niagara River Lions basketball team. But he was honored recently, and justifiably so, in the youth sports world, which is university sports, for outstanding service to that world. Rod Mawhood joins us on the program. How are you, Rod? It's been a long time since we've had a chance to chat.
No, we're not getting you there, Rod.
Yeah, I think we got you muted somehow.
I got him. Sorry. Go ahead, Rod.
We got you now.
Great to see you. Great to see you, Lee, and thank you to you and Kevin for both having me on today.
Well, we can talk about all the things you've been up to in a bit, but first of all, we want to start off with the high note and congratulate you on this prestigious award. It's a big deal. Explain to us what the U Sports Fred's Gambatti Award is.
Yes, that's a dedication to university sport across Canada. I've had a chance to announce and cover Brock athletics for over 2 decades, the Badgers, of course. Last year I was honored from a provincial Ontario University athletics level, and this year I got a call a few months ago from U Sports, so right across Canada, and you just alluded to it. They flew me out to St. John's, Newfoundland, and it was an 18-hour journey. It was a quick one, but I was very humbled, very grateful, and then I rushed back, and I got to the Niagara River Lions game with about 3 minutes to spare to start announcing that. So it was a fun, eventful 18 hours.
How have you spent your time, for those people that might not be entirely aware, over the last couple of decades, as you were talking about the Badgers? And they've had, the Badgers at various levels have had some great success with their sports teams out of Brock for a long time now. What has your involvement been with that group over the years?
I guess what started back in 2002, Todd Erskine started the varsity women's hockey program, and he asked me to announce their games. They played out at Meriton Arena. That transformed into the men's Badgers games. Then it was basketball, men and women's. Obviously wrestling. The Badgers, a perennial powerhouse when it comes to university wrestling, and still produce many Olympians, Canadian Olympians. And then just emceeing events, the prestigious Hall of Fame events for the Badgers, the athletic banquet, 900 student athletes that happens yearly as well. So basically hockey and basketball and wrestling, everything that encompasses Brock Badger sports.
And was it the Badgers that nominated you for this award, Rod?
Yeah, this was interesting too, because when U Sports reached out to me and they said, well, who do you want to present the award? Would it be Brock or McMaster? And I said, so McMaster, I guess, just from my university coverage and sport coverage, nominated me as well. So that was that was nice to hear. But
congratulations!
Yeah, mainly it was the Badgers, but McMaster out of Hamilton nominated me as well. So that was nice.
Now, it's also known as the Fred Gambatti Award.
Mm-hmm.
Where does the namesake come in?
So Fred was a Canadian journalist back in the day, and obviously this is in memory of him, just because he dedicated so much time to university sports, and this is a memorial award in honor of Fred Gambatti.
Life has changed in the world of sports reporting and broadcasting, and you probably more than any other have experienced the ups and downs and trials and tribulations and changing dynamics and environments of sports reporting and sports broadcasting. And my goodness, what a road that people like yourself and those of us that have been in the broadcast business at any level have experienced. But you continue to not doing terrestrial broadcasting any longer, but you have transferred over into the online world with your Niagara Sports Report. Tell us about that.
Well, just like you guys, and great job you've done. And when I came on, and you just said, for Niagara, all about Niagara people, and mine's kind of transformed. I left the so-called terrestrial broadcast world in December, and a day later, after I left Bell Media and 610, I went online with podcasting, and as you guys can both appreciate, immediate analytics, demographics around the world, and it quickly grew. It started out with about 20,000, and 40, then 60, and I average about 80,000 listeners now. I get the male-female breakdown of demographics. I get the countries, obviously Canada, the United States. But because I cover all the big four major sports in the NHL, NBA, MLB, NFL, I do that, but I also bring the local aspect of Niagara sports into that. So you get the whole Niagara region breakdown, St. Catharines and Niagara Falls and Welland. But it's great. I think last week when I looked up there, and I'm guessing because the World Cup is presently on, I had listeners in Brazil and Italy, maybe just because I brought in the World Cup. And obviously Italy isn't there, as we all know, but they're still obviously huge soccer fans. So it's, I've just been, I was tentative as an old school radio personally, as you can appreciate, to go this route. But it's been nothing but great with everything I've seen and everything I've done.
It can be scary, but any entrepreneurial sort of undertaking comes with some element of risk. And humans, by our nature, we're not instinctive risk takers. We like being comfortable. We like being in our little cocoon and doing fine. And thanks a lot, but I'm comfortable right here. But this is not the environment. This is not the time in history where that mentality works. So kudos to you for taking the risk and jumping into the pool with the rest of us. And congratulations on that. It's awesome.
Thank you. No, a great job you guys are doing again.
So talk to us about when we can and where we can catch you in the Niagara Sports Report.
Yeah, so I do daily sportscasts 6 days a week, and then I do a full show on Saturdays with guests. Obviously, I don't have to worry about time constraints now where you do terrestrially. And my show runs longer. I get to go in depth a little bit more with the guests that I have on Saturday. And daily sportscasts, instead of having a 75-second deadline, I can go 2.5 minutes and get more in depth with daily sportscasts. So I'm available on any of those podcast platforms out there, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Spreaker, iHeartRadio. You just Google Niagara Sports Reporter Rod Mawhood, and you can find those daily sportscasts. And again, a full show with guests on Saturdays.
Rod, I think Kevin wants to join in.
Yeah,
here.
last week on our show, or a couple weeks ago, we had Fort Erie International Academy on and Steve Houston. And we started talking about, you're in the trenches here. Talk about some of the incredible athletes that you cover right now and some of the people you've covered on Niagara Sports Report that have gone on to do incredible things from right here in Niagara.
Well, you talk about FEIA, as I say it, Fort Erie International Academy.
Yeah.
They've had players drafted right from there into the NBA. And on the Team Canada national team right now, Leonard Miller is one of those players that, and I don't think people realize that this school in Fort Erie is producing NBA caliber players. So drafted into the NBA, of course, playing for the Canadian men's national team. So right now, presently, at this time of year, the Niagara River Lions, the two-time defending champions across Canada with the CEBL, Canadian Elite Basketball League. I announced for the Welland Jackfish, again, they're defending IBL, now CBL, Canadian Baseball League champions, and the St. Catharines Junior A and Junior B athletics. So from basketball to baseball to lacrosse is what I do now. And in the winter, of course, more university basketball, the Niagara Ice Dogs, more hockey with the Sabres and the Buffalo Bills. So, yeah, busy, but it's something I love.
Well, it's a good busy as opposed to a bad busy. It's good to be busy. It certainly beats the alternative. You mentioned the Jackfish. I kind of had an interesting experience. I was just out on the golf course and I teamed up with a couple of young guys and who hit the ball like 8 miles to my 8 inches, And but one of the fellows was a Jackfish player. And
who was it, Lee?
Yeah, I said.
Who was it?
You know what? I've lost. I knew you'd ask me, and I just had a brain cramp, and I just lost the name. But he was from Tillsonburg, Ontario,
Okay.
He moved here to play baseball. He was on a bit of a hiatus at the moment, but and we were talking about the show and the presentation that this organization puts on, and we've chatted with their coach and the owner there a few times on this program, and one of the things where I'm going with this is one of the things that I find and the basketball team is the River Lions are the same. It's an entertaining product that these Niagara organizations are turning out these days.
Absolutely, no one beats the Welland Jackfish in terms of grain presentation, and you know their motto says it all, right? Now I'm losing it now with the fun with the Jackfish, but you know the Jackfish, the River Lions inside the Lions Den at Meridian Center, with the indoor pyrotechnics and fireworks, and the Jackfish just continue to impress, and they sell it almost every night now. So you said it. What these teams are doing is very, very impressive.
And the organization, the university sports, is something that has continued, perhaps not for someone like you because you've been following this forever, but it tends to, for the population at large, kind of sail under the radar. We don't hear about it as much, and I think that was probably the fault of terrestrial broadcast outlets like the TV and radio stations traditionally, but it seems to be getting more and more coverage. I hope, maybe I'm just paying more attention to the general public, but there's been some incredible, as Kevin was alluding to earlier, some incredible athletes that haven't really been on the public awareness radar, if you will.
No, I think that all goes to do with funding, and obviously the almighty dollars south of the border with NCAA sports, and now the NIL, and I don't know if you've got into that, but that's name, image, likeness. We have some athletes now, university-wise in the United States, that are choosing to stay back in school because of, with NILs, name, image, likeness, they can make more money playing college basketball than they can signing in the NBA, so they'll stay back a year because of those incentives. So it's a completely different ball game, pardon the pun, obviously south of the border. But on this side of the border, I always say it's the most underrated, unappreciated, in particularly hockey, because being there at the arena at Canada Games Park where the Brock Badgers play, there's NHL scouts at all those games. And there's late bloomers. Some of these, obviously, you're looking at 17 and 18-year-olds. You look at Gavin McKenna with the Toronto Maple Leafs first overall pick that get noticed, but there's some late bloomers that maybe go undrafted, but when they hit 21 and play at this level of hockey at the university sport, that's when they find their game. They're grown into men. They're playing against men. And some of these Canadian university teams are playing the bigger programs in the United States and not only competing with them, but beating them on some nights. So I say that, and I brought up wrestling. Obviously, Brock is known for wrestling,
sure.
But basketball now, the Sam Keltos of the world playing professionally in Slovakia. Madeline Weinert, I'm going to have her on my show this week, is about to sign pro in a European country, undecided yet. But she's the defending U Sports Female Athlete of the Year, not just for basketball. So this is what Brock Badgers and the university is producing. Yeah, very impressive.
Kevin?
Yeah, Rod, I mean, I'm just throwing it up there right now. You've been ingrained in the community for so long. For sure, you covered Logan Thompson when he was playing goal for a brief period of time for the Brock Badgers. I got a picture of him up on the screen in full uniform. And I mean, this guy was part of Canada's Olympic team. He's become one of the best goalies in the NHL, plays for the Washington Capitals. Talk about his time in U Sports, because it speaks exactly to what you were just talking about maybe some of the slower development of these professional athletes.
Exactly. He had some good numbers in the WHL, Western Hockey League, of course, where the Ice Dogs play as the OHL. And then there's the Quebec Major Junior as well. But Logan Thompson had some good numbers, but for whatever reason, went undrafted. Played a year and a half at Brock. He signs, I think it was an ECHL contract, and then climbs the ladder. So just a couple of years after playing at Brock, as you alluded to, Kevin, is now one of the best goalies in the NHL. Many people thought he should have been in the Vezina conversation last year, of course, and then makes the Olympic team. So, and you know what? After that, there was another goalie that's now in the Edmonton organization. His name is eluding me, Kevin. Call it up. But 2 years after Logan Thompson signs a pro deal, another goalie with the Brock Badgers signs professionally as well.
Rod, let me ask you, you mentioned the Ice Dogs a couple of times. The Ice Dogs as an organization have had a couple of lumpy years, to be honest. And we have reached out to the team a few times, trying to get some momentum going for that group, and thought we had a really good step forward with the previous head coach that was brought in. Where are you know more about this than I certainly do? Where are we on the OHL spectrum going forward?
Yeah, very interesting, intriguing right now. So the league has stepped in to kind of take over the organization. They've appointed a general manager in Dale DeGray that was 19 seasons in Owen Sound with the Attack, and they brought in someone from the league, Jason Diplock, who's got some golf and some baseball experience in the past to kind of take over business operations. So the league, as of now, has stepped in to take over the organization. You mentioned the coaching situation. I just reached out this week to see if something is imminent in terms of that, because they hinted a couple weeks ago something was imminent in terms of a head coaching announcement, but nothing there new. They're having a little bit of a community barbecue and get-together, slow pitch game with the players this upcoming Saturday to meet the new players. But a very interesting situation, to say the least, in terms of the league stepping in and taking over the organization right now.
It seems they've got a bit of a marketing issue, though, too, Rod, to be perfectly honest. You mentioned this event that they've got coming up. I haven't heard a thing about it.
Social media-wise, it's out there, but they can definitely do more to promote the team. And I think, Lee, as you know, the demographics here in Niagara, not everybody's on social media, and I think they have to realize that they've got to find other ways and different ways and maybe older ways to connect with the people of Niagara.
Back to you, Kev.
And Lee and Rod, we'll wrap it up on this.
Yeah.
Connor Unger, that's the name that you can find.
Connor Unger, yeah.
Signed a couple of years ago, entry level, and still within the Oilers organization, and backstop the Brock Badgers.
Yeah, so there you go. Logan Thompson, Connor Unger, just two names. I just mentioned, of course, from the basketball perspective, Sam Keltos, and now Madeline Weinert playing professionally too. Some great stories coming out of university sports, and some great stories, as we just alluded to, overall across Niagara.
Rod Mawhood, thank you very much for joining us. Owner, operator, host, and perpetrator of Niagara Sports Report, and 2026 recipient of the U Sports Award. Congratulations again. Thanks for all you do for us. Thanks for being here. It's great to see you again. It's been too long since we've chatted, so this was a watershed moment for us, so that's wonderful. And continued success. I'm proud of you.
Lee, great seeing you. Kevin, thanks for reaching out, and I'm glad we could do this again. All the best to you guys.
Take care, Rod.
Thank you.
A great Niagara story. Now, coming up, have we got Adam in the waiting room yet, Kev?
Yeah, I'll just pull Adam in here because we're going to talk about that story of the lost teddy bear.
The lost teddy.
And Lee, while I'm setting that up, remember these, the planters weren't exactly lost. They were stolen.
Yeah. We played this video 2 weeks ago on the program, and it was a very, very graphic example of the lengths that some people go to take other people's stuff. So the guy backs into this driveway, and that's you can tell that's like a doorbell cam or whatever there. So here comes, this is the video we played a couple weeks ago. There's the red pickup truck, nice truck, and then this dude comes out and he grabs the planter and then realizes how heavy the damn thing is, but manages to muscle it into the bed of the truck anyway, and off he goes. Well, we have a follow-up. We have an update on this story. Nick at Niagara 411 posted this. I got a note from the owner of the flower pots that were taken last month. Within the last 2 days, he has returned them. Thank you, sir. Caught in the act. Return what you stole. Images of his face in the comment section. Well, A change of heart and a pang of conscience has resulted in triumph. The guy returned the planter. Good for you. Now, we're going to talk with a fellow in just a minute, Adam Mihalowicz, and this popped up as well. Hi, everyone. We want to thank you for the outpouring of kindness and support over the past few days. This is under the heading, Please Help Bring Teddy Home. Yesterday, my wife and I went and retraced our steps, and the staff at Landmark Cinemas looked through their security footage. As someone had commented, there was a woman there who picked up our son's teddy bear and asked some people around her if it belonged to them. Unfortunately, the security footage showed her leaving the building with Teddy. So it seems that he was taken. I'm not sure if he was held for ransom. We are hoping and praying that he will be returned in the coming days. Thank you all for your kindness. The claim that someone had found him was unfortunately not legitimate. Oh, so that was an update there. Today at approximately 4 p.m., our 5-year-old son lost his beloved teddy bear at Landmark Cinemas, the Penn Center. We believe Teddy was either left in the theater lobby or dropped somewhere in the parking lot. To most people, Teddy may look like an old worn-out stuffed bear, but Teddy is so much more than that. All right. And haven't we all, as children ourselves, or watched our children for some unknown reason or attraction, build a bond between a thing? It could be a blanket, it could be a teddy bear, it could be a duck. It doesn't matter what it is. There's some things somehow that people connect with at a very, very visceral level. And there's the 5-year-old with Teddy. So we welcome, I guess he could be Teddy's uncle, joining us now, Adam Mihalowicz. Adam, hopefully I didn't fracture your name too badly. Welcome to the program. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Lee, for having me. And no, you did a great job with my last name.
Oh, good.
I'll take Teddy's uncle.
I was practicing it all night long. So yeah, talk to us about what is your son's name, by the way?
Sure. So his name's Liam.
Leo? Or Liam? Liam. All right.
Liam.
A nice Irish name, Liam. How do you get Liam from Mihalowicz?
Took a lot of talking and decision with my wife when we had the little guys. So
because Mihalowicz does not sound much like an Irish name there.
Not even on the same continent, my friend.
Okay, so how's Liam doing? He doesn't have his bear back yet. How's he doing?
He's still saddened. It comes in waves. He understands that somebody took the bear and that they have it in their possession. And right now, he truly just wants Teddy to be taken care of, and that eventually and hopefully returned.
Let's build a scenario so we can try to nail down when somebody might have been in the same theater that you were in. So what was the day that you went to the movies at Landmark?
Sure. So it was this past Saturday, July the 4th.
Okay.
Myself, my two children, and my wife, we all went and saw Toy Story 5.
What time was the show?
4 o'clock was the show.
4 p.m., okay.
Yeah. So we're there in the lobby. We get our snacks and beverages, and unfortunately, my son had his stuffed blanket and his stuffed bear both in his arms, and he did not realize his bear fell out beneath his blanket.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he had the blanket, but then when he unwrapped the blanket, there was no bear.
There was no bear.
When did he discover that?
He discovered it minutes later as we were already in the theater and the movie was playing, and he got cold and went to go put his blanket on his lap.
Well, he must have been heartbroken. He must have gone a little bit crazy.
Yeah, it was a very sad moment. He definitely felt panic and fear and obviously sadness. So we weren't sure at the time where it went. We thought maybe he just left his bear in the vehicle, so we didn't immediately start this search and rescue mission. But it was only until after the fact the movie was done and we realized, Teddy isn't here.
All right. So if anybody is watching this broadcast that we're doing right now, I should say stream. That's broadcast is too old a word, but this stream of this program, and you were on July the 4th. You were at Landmark Cinemas. Anytime. What time did you get there? About 3:30ish or something like that?
Yeah, about 3:45-ish.
Okay.
Quarter to 4.
All right. So if you were there July the 4th at Landmark Cinemas, going to see Toy Story 5 around 4-ish, or even after that, then let us know. Just think about what you might have seen, or if you have a bear that you know isn't yours and you don't know what to do with it. Now you know what to do with it. Just come
Now
on.
you know.
Now you know. Come on, Niagara 411, or contact us, and we'll put Teddy and Liam back together like they should be put together. What is the story behind the bear? Where did Liam get the bear?
Liam's had the bear since he was a baby. It was one of his very first stuffed toys. He was barely a month old when he got it, and he's had it ever since. Every possible scenario, nightmares, sickness, class trips, he sneaks it in his backpack even. He's had this little guy since he was a baby.
Oh, that's a shame that he had to experience.
How have the sleeps been since then?
Yeah, good question.
That's got to be
Great
the hardest
question.
time. Got to be the hardest time for you parents.
It's the hardest time. It's been very difficult getting him down at times. He's been sufficing with some other stuffed animals, but it's still not the same.
Okay. Hopefully we've done what we can. Hopefully somebody comes out of the woodwork and brings Teddy with them.
Yeah, I want to dig into this a little further, Adam, because you guys went back and you talked to the manager, and everybody's trying to help. But what did the video footage show? Or have we already covered that?
Was there video footage?
Oh, there was. We spoke to the manager at the Landmark, and she reviewed the security footage. They actually saw the entire incident transpire, where my son dropped his bear, and a few moments later, a woman picked it up. She immediately asked a couple people in the vicinity if it was their stuffed animal. They said no. So the woman in question decided to keep it for her own.
Oh, but then when we were reading the post, it said a little further down. I saw that story that you're talking about. Then a little further down, it said that there was some dispute about whether that had actually happened. I was a bit confused about that.
There's been a bit of a dispute, but when the managers reviewed the footage at Landmark, that's what they kind of advised us.
Okay.
They actually said to me, we probably crossed paths with this individual as we were entering and exiting right there in the lobby area, that it was that close of an incident.
Okay.
And there's something else that I want to clarify as well. If you scan through the comments, and everybody in the comments is trying to help, and Adam and I talked about this leading up to this, and in my research, you come across this post here, and you can't quite read it, Lee. It says, "Hi, dear parent of Liam, the 5-year-old son. I found where your Teddy is. Please call me," and they give their phone number. "My name is James. I have tracked it down. The one you lost, I think I found it." And in Adam's experience and in my experience, I called this individual this morning and left a message.
Okay.
And they are living with developmental delays.
Oh, all right.
Their heart is in the right place. They are genuinely trying to help. They do not have the bear, but it's unfortunate that a lot of people in the comments are suggesting that this person is a scammer. And Adam, you've had some experience as well. I just want to let people know that I don't know what the possible scam would be, except if they try and extort money out of you, like hold the bear for ransom.
Yeah.
But Adam, you take it from there.
Yeah, no, thank you. Truthfully, I agree 100% that he's just a good Samaritan trying to help. I would definitely say that if somebody does have Teddy and it is a scam or ransom, please let me know, because we will do whatever we can to get the bear back. I know we've
so there's a price.
For Liam, absolutely, as a good parent.
Well, you know,
But no,
they always talk about commerce being a balance of supply and demand. Right now, the demand is very high, and the supply is very low. So
one of one.
yes. So that's when you run into the possibility for ransom demands. So, and I don't want to make light of Liam because it's an emotional time for him, and I feel
Yep.
hopefully he does get the bear back, and hopefully on the other side of the coin that it's a life lesson that one has sometimes a hard time learning, in that sometimes it's difficult to say goodbye, but sometimes you have to, and move on to other challenges and other loves and other habits and hobbies and things of that nature. So at the end of this, however it fleshes out, hopefully there's some lessons and life experiences learned here.
I couldn't agree more. I hope so. It's a growing moment, truthfully. We hope Teddy still returns. I do want to say it has been amazing, the support from the community that we have received. We've had so many people comment and message and reach out, just asking how Liam is, how can they help. We've had some people offering alternative bears that they've had, hoping it will comfort Liam.
Okay.
And it's renewed our faith in humanity, seeing everybody caring genuinely so much for this little boy.
Well, that's wonderful, and that's the positive side of a downside story. But Adam, thanks very much for being here. We hope things work out for Liam and Teddy, and full steam ahead. Hopefully it works out.
Thank you so much, Lee. We appreciate it.
Hey, you're welcome. Take care. There you go. And there is our multi-million-dollar set. Hello, at 149 St. Paul Street in downtown St. Catharines, Fiddler's Poorhouse on this July the 8th already. A nice, warm, sunny, real summer-like day for a change. Man, we've had some fun, haven't we? Those storms that rolled through on Canada Day, late in the day here. We didn't suffer too much here, but that one area like Lake Street and Russell and St. Catharines, trees coming down, it was almost like there wasn't a mini tornado, don't quote me on that, but it was almost like there was an event in that one, in that area, and others as well, but mainly in that area. We read about, I don't know, 2 or 3 trees, big trees coming down on cars and houses and stuff. And it was just,
Thorold also got destroyed.
Yeah, Thorold got hit hard too, yeah.
That's what I'm showing some. But you're right. And that stump that came out on Lake Street in St. Catharines, I drove by that today. It's still kind of unearthed a little bit. Yeah,
Is it?
I mean,
Yeah.
Thorold just got absolutely destroyed. And this is, they went to the movies Saturday afternoon. This was early Saturday, like 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm. And we live in the North End, and we could feel it. You can feel the air change. You know what it feels like when you know that there's something imminent, and we knew it was coming anyway because you track the warnings and all the rest of it. But in the North End, we had a few minutes of heavy rain and some wind, but and a bit of thunder, but it wasn't really horrible like some of the areas that got hit. As you'll see there, the lightning flashing and whatnot. Boy, we've had some interesting weather. And as I was talking about off the top of the program, this El Nino thing that has formed and is continuing to form could be the biggest thing since, I think they said, Kevin, the 1950s. And that brings up the whole conversation again about climate change. We weren't talking about climate change in the 1950s. But there were these kinds of events happening in the 1950s. So the anti-climate change, the people would use this as a gotcha moment. See, it happened in the 1950s. There's no climate change problem then. Well, maybe there was, but we didn't know about it. So it's weather is weather. And any weather person will tell you, weather and climate are not the same things. Climate is one thing, and weather is a whole different sack of hammers. One is the environment that we live in and will live in for the next billion years or whatever. That's climate. Weather is just what happens today and next week or this week or whatever. And man, we've had some weather, some very interesting weather.
Lee, coming up on the program,
Yes, sir.
we're going to be talking about the Niagara Ukrainian Family Festival. Make
Yes.
sure I get that right. That's running this Saturday and
Yep.
Sunday in Fireman's Park.
Yep.
And the president's going to join us on the program. Wanted to get this story up there. This was a Kijiji sale gone wrong. It's obvious fraud, but there was a bit of a follow-up, and it plays out in the comments. It's kind of a
Okay.
crazy story. But here's the original story, and then we can get to the comments.
So today at 4:30. Oh, this is the telephone thing.
Yeah,
right?
the telephone.
Yeah. Some people are so brash and. Today, 4:30 p.m., I was in Thorold to sell an iPhone 16 Pro Max. The girl and I arranged to meet outside the house. As I arrived, she was there with her friend, and her friend asked to see and inspect the phone. Her friend started booking it down, meaning running away, down between the two houses, and then the girl counting the money started to run after her. I at first thought it was a joke, but then realized I was being robbed. There are houses in the vicinity that had video surveillance, and I'm asking the community to please share any video surveillance that they have around the area showing the exchange and the robbery. The girls were in their early 20s, I believe, tall and slim figure, African American. One girl had a slick back hairdo, I guess that means, and both girls had very long eyelashes on. So then, as Kevin said, the comments lend a little bit of clarity or expansion to this story. Brad says, this is ridiculous. She lives 5 houses away and we watch them do it several times a week. They run back around the block and back into 229 Melody Lane. Then Nathan says, Brad got it good today. SWAT team and detectives showed up and tore the house up, and yet again, no mother on site anywhere.
Yeah, so that's crazy. So Brad's comment is from a week ago, saying,
Yeah.
hey, this stuff happens all the time. I see them.
He sees
They're
them
in my
do it,
neighborhood.
so they scam people.
And then
for their-
Nathan, that's just from 13 hours ago. This is yesterday afternoon.
Wow.
Brad saying, oh, yeah, they got him today. It's crazy. And then Nathan continues here.
Yeah, he says Brad ended up removing about 10 bags of electronic devices. Must have been stealing stuff for a long time. Imagine how it feels being beside them. Everyone around here wants them gone so bad. And then Kevin reached out to say, a great update, and then mentioned the fact that he produces this program. Would love to get you on the show, etc. Brutal, man. We moved in not long ago and could tell they were a problem. They stole from pizza driver last week, $150 order, and robbed the driver. Wow.
This is crazy stuff.
Yeah.
There's other people here, and I think it might just be the same guys.
Yeah, he's just sort of having a conversation.
Yeah. Please report the incidents, and
Yeah.
Erin, so she might be connected to it.
Yeah.
Like, here you go. Here is. So that's probably the lady. Yeah, 229 Melody Lane. And here, Paisley says the thing. I'll throw up Melody Lane here, Lee.
Yeah.
And then
yeah,
you can continue. I've got to take a little boys' break here. It's creeping up on me. But there's
Okay.
Melody
It's
Lane.
just
I mean, they're
just on
calling
the
it
back
Niagara
of-
Falls, but I think technically
So
this is
Paisley,
Thorold, right? Right off of.
Yeah, it's Thorold. Yeah. Paisley Johnson says, watch them booking it. I haven't heard that term since I was a kid, but I guess it's come back. Booking it means taken off around 12:30 to 1 o'clock today from the area 161. I'm assuming that's also an address on Melody Lane. They ran from the back between the townhouses around the corner, cut through a balcony, and ran right into the front of their residence today. So I wouldn't be surprised if someone got ripped off by them again. And you would wonder, as I am wondering, if these girls, or these group of people, whoever they are known to the area. I guess earlier, one of the earlier comments said that they've got all kinds of stuff out of the house, and maybe they've got them by now. But as I say, one would wonder how this has been allowed to continue without some sort of resolution.
Look at what Tahira has to say. And I got to say, I
long.
think it's this neighborhood, the new builds, the Empire builds off of Port Robinson.
Yeah,
That's what's coming up for.
I guess so.
229 Melody Lane is
Yeah. showing
up right there. So
Tahira says, I live in the area. My neighbor has seen this happen 4 times now. Well, gee, don't we talk to people? Don't we tell people about this? We had an officer come by the other day. Okay, they stole a phone from an elderly gentleman, and the other day from a young guy in a Honda Civic. It's a group of young kids, aged 12 to 18 girls and 3 boys. Okay, now that lends a little bit of clarity or expansion to this story. They call the people to come to the empty lot houses. Please file a police report as well. And Nathan's back. Smashed up light blue phone was seen in front of the home. Heard the alarm finder notification from my balcony. Police aren't doing anything despite arriving almost every 2 days for different reasons. This is obviously a little community crime ring of, once again, young people that have to be somehow manipulated or maneuvered by, I would guess, someone else, somebody older.
I don't know. I think this is just teens acting on their own accord.
You think so?
Well,
you think they're that smart?
It's not that clever, Lita.
Well, they've been getting away with it.
Yeah, but it's and not forever. I mean, they caught up with them.
I guess.
It's not that clever, right? I would say first time, if somebody is asking to meet you at kind of an undisclosed location, like, yes, meet in a public place. They actually have safe zones at some of the fire stations or some of the police stations.
Yeah.
These are good places to go. In a public space, at the mall or at a Tim Hortons, something like that. But if they're meeting you at a house that is not their address, why? And it could just be, I don't want you knowing where I live. But why do you not?
They might not be they might not be saying that it's not their address. That could be their address, but we'll meet you on the street.
The good thing is, it's really easy for the detectives to do this work. All they have to do is put out an iPhone for sale and just wait.
Yep.
Right? That's how you catch these people, is you put another iPhone for sale, and these kids are actually lucky that none of the people they've ripped off went for vigilante justice.
Some things are just too damn easy that they don't get done. Grantham Home Hardware, thank you very much once again for being our key sponsor of this program. It's brought to you by Grantham Home Hardware every couple of weeks. Jake and Rob and the whole gang over there are doing great work. It's a busy, busy time of year for them. We might even be doing some sort of on-location thing in the next month or so. We'll keep you posted on that. And just stop by their website. It's just so easy to do. You just click on this thingy right here, and you go to homehardware.ca, and then you can go to your local store, which is Grantham Home Hardware, and all kinds of specials and deals line up for you there. And especially this time of year, they've got a lot of stuff going on in the summertime, and lawnmowers and barbecues and lawn furniture and just so much great stuff at Home Hardware in the Grantham Plaza, Vine and Scott, Niagara Street there. It's, Grantham area of St. Catharines. Also, Verge Insurance for your life insurance, your auto insurance, your home insurance, whatever kind of insurance needs you have. Verge Insurance Brokers Limited, in business since 1953 here. Ontario Street location in St. Catharines, also a branch in Niagara Falls. Thanks for sticking with us for, 4 or 5 seasons now that Verge has been with us. And also Ready Bins Niagara, our newest sponsor. Glad to have them on board. Why should you choose a Ready Bin for your disposals, etc.? Delivery is fast and easy. It fits in small spaces. They will act on your schedule, not their schedule. VIP service. They'll roll out the carpet for your driveway with the ultimate protection and gentle placement of the bins. You're not going to have your driveway asphalt ripped up. All-inclusive low pricing, personalized service. ReadyBinsNiagara.ca. REDE BinsNiagara.ca. Check them out. All right, Kevin, what's happening with WeeStream these days? I haven't had a chance to ask you. You've been a busy lad.
Yeah, we have been busy. WeeStream, what have been up to? Covering council. I actually moonlighted as an old radio newscaster the last couple of days.
On real radio?
Yeah, doing work at 105.1 and 101.1 More FM and The River out of Niagara Falls. So I was doing the news there. Got to kind of break the story on Monday that, according to Mayor Jim Diodati, the Ferris wheel installation in Queen Victoria Park, that is dead. It is off the table. And that they will, in all likelihood, in his opinion, he said, they will move ahead with the Harry Oaks and Hoko plan to renovate.
Enhance the existing one.
Which would make it the largest observation wheel in Canada. So it looks like they finally came to a plan that does not include damaging Queen Victoria Park. And I use the word damage because, I mean, in Niagara, the one thing, explaining it to my sister who lives in Toronto, I said, Niagara really does hold on to the mandate of the Niagara Parks.
Yes.
In the late 1800s, it was already getting too commercialized. They recognized that and had a mandate to keep it green and keep it beautiful, and that has governed them in their decisions for over the century.
Yeah, and yes, that is balanced, of course, with attractions that people want to visit and take part in to make Niagara a destination, and those areas that come under the auspices of the Niagara Parks Commission have attempted to strike that balance between nature and nurture and entertainment and enjoyment of the natural settings. And it's sometimes a tough line to walk. And one of the things that bothered me a little bit over the last few weeks and months that this Ferris wheel thing has been part of the radar screen here in Niagara is the fact that there have been some comments and positions, including in our last show, about the Niagara Parks Commission taking the heat for this concept. And that is not at all fair, because the concept for this new Ferris wheel in Victoria Park came directly from the Premier's office of Doug Ford in Toronto. That's exactly where it came from. And because Niagara Parks Commission is the landlord, if you will, and the maintainer of Queen Victoria Park, they're under the microscope, but it wasn't their idea. So don't put the heat on the Niagara Parks Commission. They're just caught in the middle between you and me and the Premier. And to go to what Kevin was saying, this changed the Jim Diodati comment, changed the whole dynamic of the conversation. When he told Kevin in an interview directly, the RFP is dead, and we're going with the other proposal. We're moving on.
Yeah, and he did preface both of them and lead up with, as far as I'm concerned. But it's funny, I took heat for my reporting. I'm like, I had the mayor of Niagara Falls, who's also a commissioner for the Niagara Parks Board. He sits on the board, tell me that as far as he's concerned, the Queen Victoria plan is dead, and as far as he's concerned, we're moving forward with the Harry Oaks and Hoko plan. And people are criticizing me, and all I do is report the news. This is what somebody told me, so I put it out there. But that was fun. It was fun to be a part of on Monday and Tuesday.
But you're a part of that cursed media.
And there was a great turnout in Niagara Falls for Wayne Gates Town Hall on
Monday. Hall meeting.
Even though they kind of had the rug pulled out from under them with Jim's comments earlier in the day saying, hey, it's off the table. So, you got a lot of people there saying, hey, come on, don't build in Queen Victoria Park. And some people saying, yeah, guys, it's already done. It's off the table.
It's not going to happen.
But I think the province heard everybody across Niagara resoundingly saying, that's a terrible idea.
If the province did not hear, there is definitely a visit to your local hearing aid store in your future, because I don't know how you could not hear that, and rarely, Kevin, does there come anything that unites people of various stripes, political parties, community groups, tourist organizations, businesses, all united on the same side. Very rarely does that happen, and this seems to be one of those rare instances where they're united against the new wheel.
Yeah, it's funny that came up in a story we were covering last week with the logo for the town of Grimsby. Remember, one of the councillors commented that rarely do we unite the residents, but everybody is on the same page with this one, and we don't like that logo, and everybody across Niagara is on the same page. Yeah, we don't need a second Ferris wheel, let alone one at Queen Victoria Park.
I think we're all passengers on the same bandwagon here. Anyway, the Niagara Ukrainian Family Festival is coming up on the 11th and 12th of July at Fireman's Park in Niagara Falls, just right at the corner of Dorchester and Mountain Road. And joining us is a lady that's been with us before, and without fail, I manage to butcher her name every time we have a conversation. So, is it Iryna or Iryna?
Iryna.
Iryna. Okay.
Iryna.
Okay. Now do the last name for me.
Iryna.
Sorry?
Iryna.
Yeah, Iryna, but do the last name for me.
Lohazyak.
Lohazyak?
Similar.
Go with Iryna, Lee.
I'll go with Iryna. Okay.
It's like easy.
Yeah. Welcome to the program. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me in this program. And
Oh, it's always a pleasure to chat with you, and the Ukrainian Family Festival is always a wonderful time. Run down for us what's happening over the weekend.
Oh, it will be a busy weekend. It's our first annual festival. We have joined us just on July 11 and 12 in Fireman's Park at Niagara Falls for live music, traditional dance, delicious Ukrainian food, children's activities, splash zone. This year we have free pottery classes. It's like 2 whole days. Everyone welcome can come and join. You can work with whistles, you can work on the round. Also we have free master classes, we have free face painting. It's a lot different activities for families.
And what are the hours on the 11th and 12th?
July 11, we started from 11 a.m. and regular program finished at 6 p.m. But after 6 p.m. we have our local band Karpaty and DJ party until 10 p.m.
Is there any admission to this, Iryna?
No, it's like free event for everyone.
If it's free, it's for me. That's awesome.
Yes, it's free for you too.
Okay, so the Ukrainian community has been going through some emotional times over the last few years. And something like this, the Ukrainian Family Festival, and I know it's supposed to celebrate culture, celebrate the community, celebrate the heritage of the Ukrainian community. How do you and your community emotionally grapple with what's happening in your country right now?
It's very complicated question. People stay hard with all situation. When we stay outside in Ukraine, it's easy for us, but mentally we all time and focusing in Ukraine what's going on. Every night it's like hard for central, hard for east part of Ukraine, and everything what we can do, we can praise. It's like it's worse in one day stopped and people survive. Some people, of course, would like to stay in Canada. Some people will be back to home to their families.
And do you have family still in Ukraine?
Yeah, I have my brother and sister families in Ukraine.
And how are they doing?
They okay because they stay on the west part. It's close to Europe, and it's more easy for them. But it's still hard because when you can hear this like fire alarm, just like you must go to the bomb shelter. It's like terrible.
What kind of news do you get out of Ukraine about where people feel this conflict is going to go? Do they see some sort of peace on the horizon, or is it just they have to just live day to day?
Really, it's like some come politics, I don't want to speak about it because some people have this like different opinion.
Sure.
But yeah, just like one thing, I just believe it's worth stop to Monday, and we can do just like pray, just like everything will fine, and just like our civic people will be survive.
Well, I wouldn't have been doing my job if I didn't ask you about it, and I know it's a difficult thing to chat about because there are different political views on the system, etc. But back to the festival, Fireman's Park, June the 11th and 12th, free admission, food, fun, entertainment, and dancing, and bands, and cultural displays, etc. And it's destined to be a wonderful time. And I, for one, I can't speak to the dancing, but I sure can speak to the food. It's delicious.
It's true. It's very delicious.
Yes.
And just like I would like to send some message to people because in this year we try to support our local food banks.
Oh.
Because it's like important for us, for Ukrainians, all Ukrainians, because when Ukrainians family first arrived in Canada, local food banks were there to support them during one of the hardest times of their life. And then the newcomers get back to their normal life, and just like he doesn't care about food. And now I think it's like time when we turn to give back. So our festival, we are collecting food donation to support the food bank and say thank you to the community and the welcome to help to so many Ukrainians. And
Awesome.
I would like to ask people who will join to our festival, bring some stuff and support the food banks.
That's terrific, and I'm glad you remembered to mention that because I'll just say that's your price of admission. You bring some food to donate to the food banks, and that's your admission for the 11th and 12th of this July at Fireman's Park. And what a wonderful facility Fireman's Park has stayed over the last number of years. It's been just a great spot, even back to when I was a kid, and that was like back in the Stone Age. I remember Fireman's Park as being just a super place to go, and it's even better now. Iryna, thank you so much. Congratulations again on putting this together, and I hope you and your community and all of Niagara has a great time at the Ukrainian Family Festival. Have fun.
Thank you. Everyone welcome again.
Okay.
Waiting for everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. And I promise never to attempt to say your name again.
You're doing us all a favor there, Lee.
Oh, thanks, Kevin. That was a bit of a shot, wasn't it? Right over the bow. Yes. So one of the things that we were talking about at the beginning, I don't know. Do you think there will ever be a rescinding of this parking fiasco at our beaches and in some of our in some of our areas, even Daly Park, I believe.
Yeah, I saw that. Charles Daly Park.
Charles Daly
Park
Park has started to go on this paid parking thing. I mean, Charles Daly Park has one of the largest parking lot environments of any recreational area that I've seen anywhere in Niagara. The parking space, the parking lot is huge. And it's not like it's an amusement park. There's a really nice walkway. I mean, if you've never been to John Daly, listen to me, a golfer, Charles Daly Park, they have a band shell there where they do. I know Rotary used to have like a blues festival there and stuff. And there's different acts and different organizations that put on events and all that kind of stuff. It's a great facility, but we don't need to pay. And there's a post, Kevin found it, went to Charles Daly Park this morning. Apparently, if you want to go anywhere near Lake Ontario, you have to own it or pay for the privilege. It's unbelievable that you cannot even sit in a park without paying the government a fee. We pay 65% of our wages to taxes in this country. Pretty sure it should be more than enough to allow free parking in a park. I think more of the people with families where money is tight and not even a picnic lunch at a park is fine. Yeah, I agree totally with that post. And I couldn't believe it. Kevin, I don't know. And here's Kathy says, I went to Port, or Kaylee, I went to Port for the first time in years, and there were so many parking attendants just ready to pounce when you get out of your car. I said to the guy, I'm walking over to buy a ticket. You better not ticket me. Something was wrong with the machine and wouldn't take my card, so I had to scan the QR code and do it that way. I went to tell him the machine was broken, and he said, use another one. My friend's daughter was late getting back to her car after rounding up her kids on the beach, and a half an hour late got her a $50 ticket. What the heck is going on? I won't be going back to Port anytime soon. It was a miserable time anyways. When did we stop listening to the people? Democracy is by the people, for the people, but somehow with things like this parking thing, the Ferris wheel thing was finally, maybe, as Kevin mentioned, finally, maybe they're hearing what the folks are saying, but there just is not enough listening going on, and way too many people making decisions unilaterally as opposed to getting the gauge of public opinion and needs and wants of a society that basically pays your bills, pays your salary, etc., and votes for you to take office and be a part of a community. And yes, we realize that city councils, provincial governments, municipal governments, regional governments, and federal governments, we realize that budgeting is a big part of your mandate. However, it's very, very easy to get caught up in the minutia of trying to govern by dollars and cents and bottom lines, as opposed to governing by the will of the people that put you there to govern their society in ways in which they want to participate. That's where you have to start. You got to start by doing the listening and not by counting the beans, as the bean counters would say. Sure, we have to count the beans. Sure, we have to be fiscally responsible. Sure, we want to be able to say to the people, hey, we balanced your budget. Hey, we can pay for your services, and we can still have a non-deficit operating platform. And yes, we're not going to raise your taxes or whatever the mandate is. But if you strictly focus on that, you're gonna lose out. You're going to forget to listen. And there's no mandate in the restaurant business that patrons used to say. I would rather pay $30 or $40 for a quality meal than have a deal for $10 and have crappy food. You do get what you pay for, and that goes to taxes and parks and services and utilities and all of these things. Nothing is for free. And if you're trying to design something for free so the public will vote you in the next office, and we're not going to raise your taxes by 2 or 3% this year because we're going to charge parking in Port Dalhousie, you're stinking thinking, as far as I am concerned. All right, Kevin, I want to thank again our sponsors before we scoot out of here. Our major sponsor, Grantham Home Hardware, Verge Insurance, Ready Bins, WeeStreem. It's always a pleasure, Kevin, to work with you. Great job once again on putting this thing together. Fiddler's Poorhouse, thanks for having us. We do sincerely appreciate you being here. This has been episode 14 of season 7 of Niagara 411 Live with Lee Sterry. Oh, don't forget, it's None of It Day tomorrow. Did you know that, Kevin?
I didn't know that.
It is None of It today.
Well, I plan on doing none of it.
And none of what?
Whatever it is we're supposed to do.
Okay.
I'll
have none of it.
Nope, none of it.
But None of It Day is tomorrow to our friends way up north. We have a musical guest called Grass Mud Horse. Where these names come from, there has to be a reason. Grass Mud Horse, and they're going to be performing for you the Hungry Ghost. Enjoy the music, enjoy the video, enjoy the day. It's a beautiful one. Enjoy the rest of your week and weekend. And you know what? We'll do it all over again a couple of weeks from now. Thanks for being here. Cheers.
Come swim with us late at night, where the ducks keep us out of sight.